Yeah, static, yeah. Oh, yeah. Stay long. And yeah. After a long absence, the Character Thoughts videos are back and we're jumping into Fei Long, aka Street Fighter's Bruce Lee. In case you've never heard of Bruce Lee, which would be astounding, Bruce Lee was a kung fu action star who spurred popularity in the kung fu film genre in America. He worked on films both for Hong Kong and the United States, much like Jackie Chan and John Woo today. He reached a cult status for several reasons, most of which being his untimely death at the top of his fame, his own unique fighting style, and his, we'll call them fighting expletives. He became an underground phenomenon after his death and has been recreated several times in many forms of media, though fighting games always seem to introduce their own version of Bruce Lee, such as Mortal Kombat, Tekken, and Soul Calibur. Okay, enough about the man behind Fei Long. What about Fei Long himself? Most of his moves and mannerisms pay some sort of homage to Bruce Lee in his films. His fighting style is rather quick and straightforward. He doesn't have many unique moves or combos because he doesn't really need them. He'll keep you pinned and put heavy pressure on you waiting for one slip-up. It does take a while, however, to really get down how to play Fei Long. You need to keep your presence known. Staying all the way across the screen won't work. Staying about mid-distance is the furthest you want to get. He has a crouching reach that does get under fireballs and has a decent range. His neutral heavy kick is also a decent anti-air. He has a sort of rising dragging kick much like Dragon Punches, though it never truly seems as effective. He has a flip kick which has a few different uses, options, and can close the distance quite easily. Probably his best move is his Rekkakan. He not only applies pressure, but gives you control of how often you hit and can be easily comboed into from most of his normals. Now, he is a brawler and suffers the same problems most brawlers do. He also doesn't have a move that I feel is comfortable using to get around projectiles, as opposed to something like the Lariat. His two ultras require a lot more setup as well. His first is rather straightforward. He rushes forward with a quicker moving Rekkakan. There really isn't any way to combo in it sans focus attack, and catching them out of the air usually just juggles the opponent a few times. His second one is just as tricky. Fei Long is given one of the few counter ultras in the game. The rules behind a counter ultra are simple. If they hit you while you're in your counter ultra stance, they get hit with it. There are, of course, exceptions. Projectiles, throws, and moves with guard break. That being said, it is one of the most satisfying ultras in the game to hit. So where do I stand with Fei Long? He's straightforward and fun as he should be. He's enjoyable to play as and just as fun to watch in the hands of someone who knows what they're doing. He's not the best character, but he's far from bad. He's fun and is one of the best homages to Bruce Lee, period. That's why he gets a 4 out of 5. Next time, again.
Show me your moves! Welcome! Punch! Yes!